right. We'll just take our time.
Yeah. There's some question, people. Let's see. Someone says, Dave, just let you be you. Show will be fine. People like watching good people. Good evening, Dozer. Dave, excellent show and love it. Will there be a season 2?
For my new show?
Yeah.
Is that what he's asking?
Yeah.
I sure hope so. What's the fellow's name that asked the question?
Casey?
No, let's see. Will there be a...
That's Paul.
Paul.
Okay, Paul, here's what I'd say to Paul. Paul, tell all your friends that Dave Turn's got a new show, and it's called Dave Turn's Lost Mine. And all of your friends got to tune in and watch it. If we get enough people watching, there will be a second season. But until, let's be honest, TV is driven by numbers, and numbers produce commercials, and commercials pay the bills. So as long as a lot of people watch, you're going to see my ugly mug on the channel another season.
That's cool. That'd be awesome. Tad says he's fun to watch. Okay.
Paul says he's been pushing the show.
Okay. So yeah, so you have to post all that on our Facebook page, and we'll promote it. And like I say,
thank you.
Things are archived and archived and all types of podcasts. iHeartRadio is probably the biggest and all that. So, but anyways, we'll do our part. But no, because I really thought it was a cool show, and it kind of hooked me after seeing that. And part of it might be, well, I don't know. You can't. What is there another question?
Yeah, Jeff Martin.
Huh?
What can we do as viewers to help give you ideas to help keep you going?
Where's that at? Oh, what can we do as viewers to help give you ideas to help keep you going?
Well, if you've got, so here's an answer to that question. It's called lost mines, right? If there's a lost mine out there that has value, I mean, that's what I'm going after. Is it like, and you take it back, Jack, when you first started gold mining and prospecting, isn't it fun to put a pan in the ground? I mean, every single pan is a mystery. I mean, we've got an idea that there's gold in the creek, right? But you take a shovel full and you run it, or you run it through your high banker or whatever little plant you got, and gold miners are eternally optimistic. I'm always looking at the next pan and go, this is it, man. This is going to be it. Well, that's what I'm doing on the show. It could be the next mine. It could be a mine in Nevada. It could be a mine in Montana. It could be the mine in Arizona, and I want to go find it. And that's for me. That's the fun. It's the journey. It's not ending up in one spot and making millions and millions and millions of dollars like some people I see. I want to go and keep finding it, man. I just love the journey. I love the excitement of the next pan, or it's the next cut, or it's the next, claim. That's what I love.
Yeah, no, what's the old say? Let me see if this is it here.
It's not about having the gold. It's about finding the gold.
Yeah, it's not so much having the gold as it is finding the gold.
Isn't it? I mean, isn't it really? I mean, because once we get to be millionaires, what are we going to do? Sit at home and, I don't know, what do we do? I want to keep looking. I just love it. I've met so many cool people, good-hearted people, hard-working people that are just, part of the world, and I love hanging out with them and working with them, and that's part of the journey. And the other thing I love about gold mining is every single claim is different. I've been to the Yukon. I've been to Alaska. I've been to South America. I've been to Chile, Peru, Guyana. I've been to 7 or 8 different states, and each one brings a brand new set of issues and problems and things that you got to overcome. And so I'm constantly learning. I have learned so much since Gold Rush, because when we were doing Gold Rush, the Yukon gets kind of be the same thing. You're fighting permafrost, and once you figure out how to fight the permafrost, get down to bedrock, there's gold there. But we learned it, and then from there I went to Oregon, then to Colorado, and it's all different. And it's just amazing how much I've learned since my days on Gold Rush.
Yeah, I get every state, and you've I know you've gone through a lot of the states, but every single state you visit is different in the terrain or the ground. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Nevada's dry, Arizona's dry, Montana's wet, Oregon's wet. So it's just unique areas. The gold is different.
Right. Yeah.
How you capture the gold, the way you set your sluice box up. It's all. I mean, it's just trial and error and experience, and yeah, I love it.
Somebody, let's see, Paul says Dave Turin would like to see David go, let's see, a little bit more into why a go or a no-go on a site like you were doing there. For a lot of people don't understand the basics in and outs, besides for people like us whom do mine either in a big boy league like yourself or on a weekend. I know some of them shows that you did, like some of the people called you names. You went to visit the mines, and I know, you talked like you wanted to help them out, and you said like, well, I've got to get so many, ounces per yard because there's a lot of overburden here, or I can't get this water pumped out. So, I think you kind of in a way answered these questions, talked about why it didn't work for you. And some of the people got pissed because you walked away.
Well, here's the thing, Jack. Everybody wants to make money, and everybody hangs on to the thoughts, and a lot of them are dreamers. A lot of them don't see clearly because they're looking through rose-colored glasses. They're saying, "Look, I've got the best gold mine in the world." Well, if I come in and I'm very subjective, and I've got to make a certain amount of money to make it worthwhile, and then I come to them and I say, "Look, I can't do it." Well, they're like, "Why not? There's gold here." Yeah, there's gold all over the place. That doesn't mean we're all going to go and dig it up, and because if gold's selling for $1,300 an ounce and it costs me $1,600 an ounce to get it out of the ground, I'm not going to do it. Sorry, we're going to move on. And people don't understand that. They're like, well, there's a lot of gold here. Yeah, but it costs a lot of money to get that gold out of the ground. And in an answer to Paul's question, he asked, kind of like I needed to go more into it. We had a lot of information, this stuff, and Discovery Channel said they had to be under 10 minutes. And so I would have liked to gone more in depth with explanations, but you've got to, it's also entertainment. I mean, it's not just all informational. So we've got to be able to, it's entertaining to see the amazing landscapes. It's entertaining to meet the characters. It's entertaining to see the history. And so we have to keep all of that along with the show.
Right. It's entertaining to see somebody fall on their ass.
That's always good.
I've fallen on my ass a time or two. Hit my head too many times, too.
No, the last little show that you did, that you ended up there on Lynx Creek. And probably I, like so many other prospectors who live out here in Arizona, actually probably got their start on Lynx Creek, because part of Lynx Creek is opened up to the public for free panning only. So many of us got our start right there on Lynx Creek. So it was awesome that you came to Lynx Creek and you were, doing that. And I know you can't go into a lot, details about the show. I'd sure love to talk to you a lot more about where you were at exactly and all types of stuff. But I guess time will tell all of that.
I'm sorry. Say that. What was your question again? Sorry, Jack.
Well, no, I just said, so I guess time will tell all of that on the show.
Yes. I can't get into specifics, but you'll see it. It was fun. We had a great time. You'll see us. Here's another thing that you'll enjoy. I didn't pick the best miners in the world. Now, Casey's good. But I didn't pick the best miners in the world. I picked a group of guys that I enjoyed hanging around with. And part of my deal was, can I do it as a leader? Can I take a bunch of guys, a bunch of misfits that were kind of a ragtag group of guys that I picked up on the road as I traveled around, and can I make them into a well-oiled machine that's a damn good gold mining crew? And so that's what you're going to watch. You're going to see us I mean, I barely knew some of these guys. I met Casey a week or two before I put him to work. And so that's fun, too, to see a group of guys. Most of the guys were learning how to gold mine as we went. They'd never seen a sluice box. My mechanic had never seen a wash plant, like a trauma wash plant before. But guess what? In the end, I tell you what, I'd put this crew up against any crew I worked with.
Yeah, no, I thought it from what, everything so far of it coming together, I think it's going to be an awesome show. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you. I am too. I want to get it out there and see.
Well,
I'm kind of in limbo right now. I'm kind of waiting to see if people are going to watch it or not.
Well, I know people's going to watch it, and like I say, we'll help you get it out there. So,
all right, it's good.
You got a good group of guys. I don't know everybody that's on your team. No KC. I met him out there at the gold show that we had. So he's a character. So it should be a good show. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. I just wanted to work with people that respect me and I respect them, and we can have some fun. Too many times, what we do is very stressful. I mean, not only are we mining, we're under time crunches, but then you put a camera in somebody's face, it adds that much more stress, anxiety, and deadlines. And so it's not just gold mining. Our stress level goes up, and we really are under a microscope. There's a lot of people watching us and how we behave, how we treat each other. And so we want to be real, but yet we want to show what it's really like when we're gold mining.
Okay, let me ask you this here. How did you get the name Dozer Dave?
So season 1 of Gold Rush, we're in the Yukon. We go to Quartz Creek, right? And I'd spent a lot of time on a dozer. Our family business, we've got D10s and D9s, and I was always the guy that took it to the top of the hill to cut a new road, to cut in a bench. And so I became pretty proficient at running the dozer. I spent a lot of time in the seat of a dozer. So when we went up to the Yukon at Quartz Creek, we were faced with a monster, and that monster was called permafrost. And nobody knew how to deal with it. We didn't have gold mining the Yukon for dummies. We didn't have that handbook. We had to learn. And so what I found was that I could handle the permafrost as long as I ripped it and stayed on a ripped surface. And so it ended up being I spent most of my time was spent on a dozer because nobody else quite had it figured out. So I must have spent, I don't know, a couple thousand hours in the seat of that D8 dozer for season 1. And Todd just took it upon himself to start calling me Dozer Dave because I spent so much time in the dozer.
That makes sense. So I got a question for you. So you've prospected in Alaska, you've prospected in Arizona. What's the major difference?
The major difference is the permafrost and the water. So permafrost, people don't realize it, but permafrost is 70% water. It's frozen. It's harder than concrete when it's frozen. But the minute if you start ripping up permafrost in late April and May, guess what? You've got 65, 70 degree weather, and that permafrost starts turning to water. So it floods your cuts, it floods your pit, and it turns into it's like chasing melting ice cubes on a tin sheet. And so that's the difference. In Arizona, obviously it's dry, but it's so much easier to move dirt in Arizona than it is in the Yukon. I mean, it's a joy to push dirt and it stays right where you put it. And it doesn't melt, doesn't float away. So, yeah, that's the major difference.
Right, you can only mine so many months in Alaska.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let me ask you a couple questions here. Placer or hard rock?
Placer. However, Jack, I'm getting an education in